Hi, everyone. It's Angela with Create Your Future. Happy Saturday. Thank you for being here. So today what we're going to talk about is accepting our current reality and moving past resistance as we allow. Very, very important topic, so stick around. You're going to like this. I do want to let you know we've got all sorts of things going on down below in our description box. I have a course out. Create Your Future is giving away a free course. And if you want to work with me, the links for that are also down below. So if you find that you are in need of just a little bit more assistance, if you need a little more support, check out the description box. All right, guys. Let's jump into our topic, accepting the current reality. So I want you to know that accepting the current reality does not mean that you have to agree with it. You don't have to like it, and it is not where you're going to stay. But acceptance is helping move you out of resistance. It's helping you move into a more neutral state. It's helping you get out of that place where you're just really focused on, I don't want this, I don't want it, I don't like it. Because when we're doing all of that, we are so focused on that negative thing. We're so focused on the reality that we don't want. And of course, when you are focused on something, you're going to keep playing that loop and keep experiencing it over and over and over. And you've probably all heard that saying, what we resist will persist. This is so true. So acceptance is just a means of allowing you to let go of that current 3D, to let go of the thing that you don't like, to just relax and know that you're not going to stay here, to know that it's just simply coming from an old story, an old belief, an old mindset, an old state within you showing up, and that you're just going to let that go. You're just going to release it, because we tend to feel like we have to fight it. We tend to feel like we have to affirm against it. Now, sometimes, you can affirm over what you're seeing. You can do that, and you're going to know if that's going to work for you, because if you're seeing something that you don't like in the 3D and you begin to affirm your new story, you begin to affirm the thing that you do prefer, you'll feel a shift internally. You'll feel a release. You'll feel just maybe a neutral space, or faith rise up within you. And so you'll know, I need to keep affirming. But sometimes we get so wrapped into fighting that doesn't work. We get so wrapped up in fighting that reality that we're looking at that doesn't work for us. And remember, we're not changing that reality that we don't like. We're not changing that circumstance. All we're doing is shifting to a different reality where the outcome we prefer exists. So we can't make that shift. We can't make that move to a different reality when we are so focused on the one that we don't like, when we are just obsessed over that thing where it's really pulled us in and got us hooked, and we're just looping over and over that negative or that reality that we're perceiving to be negative. So accepting it, looking at it, saying, okay, I see that, I don't like it, it's not my preference, but I'm just going to allow it to be, because there are infinite realities that I can be experiencing around this one situation. So I'm going to accept this one, and I'm going to allow myself to relax, to become neutral, and shift into a different reality. I'm no longer going to fight this one. I'm no longer going to resist it. It is what it is in this moment. But I'm also choosing in this moment to just let go. I'm choosing to just allow. And as you do that, just that release, acceptance is going to move you into a more neutral space. It's going to move you into a place where you can actually maybe feel some peace. You can then begin to contemplate your power, the notion of infinite realities existing, the one that you prefer existing, and you're going to be able to shift your focus in a more relaxed way. And I have a really beautiful story all about release and acceptance that I want to share. This is a story I heard years ago, and it's about faith. It kind of comes from a Christian perspective, but I understand it in a more profound way now that I know about law of assumption. So this story is about an American author, Nathaniel Hawthorne, from like over 100 years ago. And it's actually about his wife and his daughter, I think like 1860s or something. But one of their children, Nathaniel Hawthorne's, one of his children had malaria and was very, very ill and had been ill for like a long time. And his wife had been praying, trying to believe, fighting this circumstance of the daughter being ill. And the child continued to get worse, 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 until finally they reached a point where the attending physician said she will die probably today, within 24 hours. Her body is spent. And the wife, who had been fighting this, which is normal, right? I mean, as any parent, we would do that. In the natural, we just want to, resist something like that, of course. But she had been fighting, praying, insisting that she wouldn't die, insisting that she would not fall as a victim to this disease, until she finally was very emotionally spent and had nothing left within her. And so the story that I read says that she finally said, I give up. I'm going to give her to, God. I'm just going to give her. I can't do it anymore. My energy, everything is gone. I surrender. And she, in the story that I wrote, is very beautiful. She said she had expected to feel worse when she just made that surrender, but she actually felt lighter. She felt relief. She finally felt a release from all of that pressure, that fighting that was within her. And in just a very short amount of time, I think like within an hour, and one story I read said just within a few minutes, when Mrs. Hawthorne went to check on her child, the fever had broken. And from that moment forward, the little girl began to progress and recover. So it's often, I've heard people say this is like the prayer of relinquishment, but it's simply, now that you look at it from an understanding of law of assumption, it's just an acceptance of this moment. It's giving up to what's there currently in the 3D, letting go of that, no longer fighting that. Because when we fight it and when we resist it and we get so focused on what we don't want, we are creating like a bottleneck with our emotions, where everything's getting kind of stopped up and we cannot even flow in any kind of faith, belief, or confidence that anything can be better. So letting go of your current 3D opens you up to a place where you can actually receive, because you're taking all that pressure off and letting things now move and flow as they are intended to. So acceptance can be very important. And remember, guys, you're never changing the current reality that you're in. You're never changing the current version of someone that you see. You are simply allowing that to be what it is, what you see, and you are choosing another reality. You're choosing another version of someone. All of these things already exist, and we can flow in and out of these realities when we are neutral, when we choose to relax, when we choose to walk in faith, when we choose to walk in confidence, when we choose to recognize our power. We're shifting all of the time anyway. We're always moving in and out of realities. And whenever you can relax and realize, I'm not stuck here. This is what it is right now in this moment. So fine. I see it. I don't like it. It's not fun. I'll just let that be, because I know that my end is going to be the thing that I prefer. So this is fine. Right now, whatever. It's not going to stay. All of this is, I'm sharing all this because I want you to learn to relax. What we see in the 3D often triggers us, and we have an emotional response, and then we create negative meaning, and then all of this loops us again and again into that reality that we don't like. So if you can see something and recognize, I don't like it, it's coming from an old story, but I know that I have a different end. I know that something else is going to happen. I know that I have a different story. I know that it's coming from me. So I just release this reality. I see it, I don't like it, but I'm not going to stay there. Fine. It's taking the pressure off of your emotions. It's releasing that constriction, and it's allowing things to flow. It's letting you shift in your perception so that you can become aware of the things that you want in that reality where those things exist. And remember, if you can think of any scenario, that desire wants you, that desire has already chosen you. And the more that you can relax, the more that you can just allow whatever is to be in this moment, you're allowing yourself to shift and move so that you can experience the thing that you do want. I hope all of this is making sense. I want you to know that feeling resistant can be a very normal thing. Of course, when we see something that we don't like, there's something that comes up, the ego within us that wants to fight that. But the more that you learn to practice this, the more that you learn to neutralize, the more that you learn, fine, I see it, but I'm not going to engage with it. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to relax and not focus obsessively on that thing and fight. I don't want this. I don't like this. I don't want that, over and over and over. You're simply putting attention on that and creating more of it. So the more that you can just learn that I can shift into any reality when I take that place of neutrality, when I take that place of confidence and recognizing it's all coming from me, and that I can actually have anything that I want and shift out of that reality without fighting it, without resisting it. Let it be. Fine. I want this to really be empowering to you guys. It doesn't mean that you're giving up. It doesn't mean that you are accepting that as your end. It just means it's a place of relaxing and neutrality, which just very effortlessly allows you to shift. So I hope that encourages you and gives you a new perspective on just letting things be in the moment. It's fine. It doesn't mean things are going to stay that way. So guys, I hope that really encouraged you, and I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.